Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks for the advice, guys. I've decided to keep my feelings to myself just in case I get hurt over it, but I shall let you know if anything changes. So this listener was... Oh, I had the person at work that was transitioning.
Oh, and he was getting attracted to them.
Yeah. Yeah, if that's how you feel, man, by all means, but never close the door. I mean, add some sly flirts and stuff in there, and you never know, it might just have organically. You might be right. In other news, I'm part of the local running club, and there's a woman there that seems to be into me, but it's hard to tell. I'm not good with the whole flirting and knowing if somebody likes me, but all the guys in the group call her my girlfriend, and she seems to be happy with the connection. Am I looking into this a bit too much, or is it just a bit of banter?
Yeah, I would take it as banter as at the minute. But anything, as Dan just said, literally anything could happen. Like you could go on like a group meetup, like to the local bar or whatever, and moves would be made or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't know what if she's quite happy to be connected to you being called the girlfriend, then she's probably thinking the same thing. She's probably thinking,
yeah, I think
to her.
I don't know though, because people say like if they have the opposite reaction, it's because they're like hiding their feelings, right? So she was like,
oh no,
your girlfriend, yeah, like oh no. But then that'd be a reaction for someone that's a bit not insecure, or, insecure about their feelings. Like that's how I would react if I liked someone, because I'm not ready for them to know it. If someone brought it up, I would be like, no, I don't feel that. I don't feel that way. Just to sort of like prolong
it cool a bit.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be playing it cool. I'd be panicking like fuck. Sweat would be pouring off me. But yeah, if she's quite happy to be called your girlfriend and that, just ask her for a cup of coffee. Yeah, that's what it takes, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's how it starts. Just be like, oh, once you've done your run and you're all hot and sweaty, do you want to go for a coffee? Have an iced coffee, cool off, something like that. I've really got into my iced coffees at the minute. Starbucks do a maple and salted caramel. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to get my head around cold coffee, but now I like it.
For me, I actually prefer, because I don't really like coffee, I prefer like the frappuccinos and stuff.
Oh, I have this argument. I'm going off topic now. I have this argument with Sabina all the time. She's like, I fancy a milkshake. And I'm like, do you want to go to Costa or Starbucks? And she's like, but they don't do milkshakes. And I'm like, well, they do frappuccinos. You sure that's not a milkshake?
It's almost
and
a milkshake, yeah.
I'm like, but it is though, isn't it? Because it's like, it's milk.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but milkshakes are made with ice cream and frappuccinos are made with like frothed up milk.
She wants like the chocolatey ones, does she? Like,
yeah. And I'm like, it's the same thing. And she gets really annoyed about me. And I'm like, so I bring it up every time now. She's like, do you want a milkshake? I'm like, do you want to go Starbucks? My relationship.
There you go.
Yeah, I always found it really hard to tell, because with men, if you're talking to a woman, most of the time it's because you want to have sex with her. If you talk to a guy, it's because you want to be a mate. But women, are these amazing people that don't have to sleep with everything that they meet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to tell if they just want to be friends or.
Yeah, I've always found it difficult to read people that way. I think if you find it easy to read people that way, you're a very lucky person. I don't think there's many people on this earth that can read people that way. But the worst that can happen if you were to say it is she says no, and then you just carry on. Just say it, but just don't like make it awkward after that. Just be like, oh, okay, thought I'd ask.
That's why I said, like, if you say to her, like, oh, do you want to go for a coffee? And she says, oh, maybe another time. I would just leave it at that, because she's obviously doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And then you've left it there. If she says another time, she can come back and be like, oh, do you want to go for that coffee now? But at least you've made the first sort of step, and she knows that you want to hang out or,
Yeah, because you
spend
don't
like an
know what's
hour with
going
her or
on in
something.
this girl's life either. She might be chatting to someone, and she might be trying to hold off because she's talking to someone, but that might not pan out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it is what it is. I think it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. I don't think it's if people are making comments around people. That Phil guy that we used to work with used to make comments about me and Charlotte before me and Charlotte got together, and I was like always playing it off.
Mm. Yeah, I think sometimes people know better than you.
Mm.
I mean, but I mean, if you're not comfortable enough doing it, that's why asking someone for a coffee is like nothing, right? And if she says no, she says no, and then you haven't really made yourself look silly or anything like that. Like, what are you gonna? Oh, he asked me for a coffee, and I said no. All right then.
Yeah, it's not that deep. It's not like you've gone up
Yeah,
to her and like, "Do you want to come back to my house?"
yeah. I'll cook you dinner and I'll pay for your taxi, and I mean, candlelit and roses and chocolates,
Yeah,
and then I'll serenade you. And I've been learning the guitar just for you.
that's the type of shit you see in a Christmas film that always seems to work, but it don't work in real life.
Oh god, I hate movies like that. It's so fucking
You end up just being classed
like
as a stalker.
watching 90 Days. This season we're watching the minute. Just it's like the whole show should be called Ammo for Two Men No Hope, because the fucking shit that goes on. There's this guy who's moved to Colombia to be with this woman,
Mm.
and he's really guilty, and he's told her that he cheated on her because they had like long distance, and he was like, "I, I was being selfish. I wasn't thinking. I cheated on you." He went and he told her mum. He told her dad. Like, he's owned up to everyone,
Mm.
and I was like, "Fair play to him. He's trying to make amends. He's doing all the right things and trying to do this stuff." 6 episodes in, she's then like, "Oh, I haven't really been truthful with him." And I turned to Sabina. I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, what does she mean? She's not been like he's just run himself through. What does she mean by that?" And then she's talking to her mates, and she opens up to him and is like, "Oh yeah, when we were on a break after he cheated on me, I started seeing this guy. It was basically mostly sexual." And I'm like, "How can you drag this guy through the dirt
And you're done
when
the
you were
same thing.
banging some other?" I'm like, "How fucking I was like, if I was him, I'd be like, that's done."
Mm.
Like, and all like her mum and her dad are like, "You're disgusting. Like, my daughter shouldn't be with you." And like, she's doing the exact same fucking thing. I can believe it. I was getting so angry, and I'm just like, email in. I'm just gonna find his name on Twitter, and I'll be like, "Mate, email into Two Men No Hope, please." Like, fuck me, like. So yeah, every relationship's fucked up. Is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I was watching because the Married at First Sight UK started again. Yeah,
Oh
and
god.
I'm never that much of a fan of the UK version. I much prefer the Australian
Australian.
version. But this one, they've just started doing the weddings, which I normally skip by the way. But we were having like a day when I couldn't really concentrate on stuff, so I was like just turned it on. I normally skip all the weddings because they drive me mad because it's like so like fake.
Mm.
And there's this one young lad, and he's quite innocent looking. I thought he was gay at first, but he's not. He's actually just quite nerdy. He was like the sister of the bride was walking down the aisle, and he turned around and goes, "Oh wow!" Like, "Oh wow," thinking it was the bride, and she's dressed in hot pink. Don't know why I thought it was the bride, but then she sat down, and then he realised, "Oh fuck, yeah, it's the bridesmaid." And then the mum was like, he's just said, "Oh well," he thinks he's marrying whatever the sister's name is, and then the real bride comes down, and she's got a bit of attitude on her. She's the type of woman that I would not go near because she's got too much attitude on her. Like, she's just up her own ass. And he just turned around and go, and he didn't say, "Oh wow," because obviously he's bricking it now because he thinks he's fucked it with the family.
Yeah.
And he didn't say, "Oh wow." She was like, come up, and she was like, "Did you want a big booty gal or something?" Saying like some weird like line. "Did you want a petite girl with a big booty or something?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Well, I've got what you asked for." And then she was like making jokes and stuff. Then he was like, "Yeah,
Fucking
you
hell.
look nice." And then it cut to her talking, and she's like, "Nice. That's what you call your grandmother. That's what you call your mother. I don't want to be called nice. And I was just thinking the attitude on her, man. And then,
was the sister hotter then?
yeah, much hotter. But it turns out they're twin sisters, but she's always had a complex that her sister gets told that she's better looking than her. And then obviously he's done that at the wedding. So then she was like,
I have to see if I can find it.
she was not forgiving him. She was not forgiving him at all. And I was thinking, the poor lad, the reason he's like saying, "Oh, you're looking nice" and stuff, is because he's flustered. Because he's fucking said to her sister before she walked out. So he's panicking. He's in panic mode. If that was me, I'd be in panic mode. I wouldn't be able to get my words out.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that he's getting ridiculed now for that. But I don't know. He might be an arsehole as time goes on, but I felt so bad for him at the time, innit?
That's brilliant.
Poor lad. And she was like coming after him. I was thinking, shit. I would just walk out if I was him.
Yeah, I'll be gone. So many times I'm watching TV shows, I'm just like, I'll be gone. See you later. Well, watching that, saying about that woman in Ethiopia, wherever she is, and she's fucking grilling him, and I'm just sitting going spinning. I was like, is he supposed to change his entire country? She's like, I need this and I need that, and he's like, but that's not ready available in his country. What was he supposed to do? And I'm just so into her. I'm just like, I would just fucking leave her. Be like, fuck you, go back then. Go back to America. That's the best thing they've got, right? Because this woman's pregnant, and he's trying his hardest to help her and keep her there, and because he wants to be a dad, and she just giving him fucking grief like all the time. And I'm just like, mate, if she gets on that plane, you're free. Don't even worry about it. Lose your fucking number. She can bring up the kid. You're done. I mean, fuck her. Some people just, I don't know. They think because they're carrying the baby that they can then become a dickhead.
I know. I think there's a lot of people in this world that are too much. There's people that are too much for other people. People like, I always see it on Marriage at First Sight, especially. They mismatch, and sometimes I think the producers do it on purpose. They mismatch personalities, where they put like quite a docile, calming person with an absolute like lunatic that fucking is bouncing off walls and has attitude issues. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for
me, good watch.
Yeah, when I've come across these people in my life, I put up with them for a certain amount of time, and then you see me slowly disappear into the. Do you know how Homer disappears into the hedge in that meme?
I was thinking more of Back to the Future when he's looking at the paper and you just see the image of himself disappears. That's Jamie.
I just quietly exit their life. That's what I do.
They walk past the picture on the mantle and they're like, "That's weird. I thought there was 3 people in that picture." And he's like, "He's gone." It's just your mum standing on her own. Jamie's gone. We went off a bit topic there, but I mean,
relationships.
Yeah, relationships. That's the whole. There's more messed up ones than that.
Yeah,
but yeah, like I said, just start off with something simple. Just see if she wants to meet up. Otherwise, just break up conversation with her and like run with her and show you're a bit interested, and then just see how it goes.
Yeah.